Well, hello, friends. It's Pastor Don, and obviously things look a little differently than the last time you've seen me. I've, since the last time I recorded, have moved and am now in the deep south of New Jersey, and want to pick up a little something from our past and do a little bit of PD on pop culture again because currently in the works. I'm collaborating with a colleague, and we will be putting out a podcast talking about some of the very same things that I talk about in this series of videos. But we're going to be collaborating on that. We're gonna look at films that he's seen that I haven't seen, films that I've seen that he hasn't seen, and kind of discuss the theological implications of those films back and forth. We may occasionally have on a guest to share in our insights as well. So keep an eye out for that coming forward. But today I wanted to talk to you about a series that I just watched. I have been, many of you are probably familiar with the Marvel Cinematic Universe, the Avengers and Iron Man and the Hulk and all of those films that we've had a vast array of over the last 10 to 12 years or so. But more recently, a lot of Marvel's films, particularly their superhero films, have not done as well. They seem to have peaked at the end of Avengers Endgame. And so the stuff that has been put out recently, interestingly, not just the Marvel stuff, but a lot of Disney stuff recently has been not as well received. You know, things like Lightyear and Turning Red and Elemental and Secret Wars and The Marvels and Strange World. And you've had kind of a series of misses, if you will. But there's a series right now on Disney Plus that is in the Marvel Cinematic Universe that I think breaks that trend a little bit. The series is called Echo. It follows a youngish female Native American assassin who was foster raised by Kingpin, who, if you know any Marvel comics, as sort of the kingpin of New York, the kingpin of crime of New York, a big foe in the Spider-Man comics mostly. Kingpin made an appearance in the Hawkeye series a few years ago, as did this character Maya, who is the hero of the series Echo. Without giving away too much of it, it is a brief series. It's only 4 or 5 episodes, which are less than an hour, so it's a long movie, basically. And I will get to whether it's worth your time to watch, but without getting too deeply into the storyline, it has a lot to do. Some of the themes in the story really come back to themes of family and grief and loss and forgiveness, and also sort of generational understanding. In fact, it's a fascinating story in that respect. I will say it's worth a watch. I wouldn't say that about a lot of some of the stuff that Disney's done recently, particularly with the Marvel Universe, but this was emotional. And it took an episode or so for me to really get into it, but it was really pretty emotional. And I think worth the investment of your time if you're so inclined and you have Disney Plus to watch it. I would make the connection in theological terminology, particularly to that passage in Hebrews where it talks about we have this great cloud of witnesses. You know, there's this tradition of our church, the tradition of what in seminary we talked about, the kerygma, the story of Christ, that's passed down over generations, that we've come to live as Christian people, and it empowers us, it emboldens us. It is who we are. And in a very real sense, this TV show, this series, kind of echoes, oh, look at that. It echoes that idea of you are who your ancestors have raised you to be. You carry the tradition of your birthright with you at all times. It's a little deeper than I expected it to be, and that's not a bad thing when it comes to decent television. So, if you're so inclined, if you have Disney Plus, I would give it a watch. It's worth it. Again, Echo, Disney Plus. It's good to be back, folks. Keep an eye out for that podcast coming, okay? Take care. God bless. Bye now.